The 7-year cycle of human life. A spiritual philosophy on the transformation of body, mind, and energy. In the philosophy of yoga, the 7-year cycle is seen as a complete journey of the body, mind, and soul. Every 7 years, human beings undergo profound transformations, not only physically but also psychologically and spiritually. This cycle reflects the rhythmic movement of the universe, much like the seasons, spring, summer, autumn, and winter, where each phase holds a unique significance, shaping the entirety of human life. But did you know that this cycle is not merely a biological law but also a key to understanding your own spiritual essence? Let's embark on a journey to explore each stage and discover how we can live more fully and consciously in every moment. The first cycle, 0 to 7 years, the world of the ego. In the first 7 years of life, a child exists in the world of the ego. They perceive themselves as the center of the universe, with everything revolving around their needs and desires. This is the stage of ego development, where the child begins to explore their own existence through the responses of the adults around them. It is also the foundational period for forming a sense of security or anxiety in the future. If a child receives love and care, they will grow with confidence. Conversely, painful experiences can imprint deeply into their subconscious, creating psychological barriers that persist later in life. A spiritual perspective. In Buddhism, this stage corresponds to the awakening of initial consciousness, when a child begins to recognize themselves as a separate entity. However, at this stage, their mind remains pure, not yet influenced by biases and desires. This is when the seeds of consciousness, bijas, are first planted into the alaya vijnana, storehouse consciousness. If nurtured with love, wisdom, and compassion, these positive seeds will become the foundation for a balanced and kind-hearted soul. On the other hand, negative experiences such as fear and insecurity can take root deeply, leaving lasting psychological imprints that are difficult to heal later. This is also the period when a child begins to develop an awareness of fundamental ethical principles through observing the behaviors of adults around them. The second cycle, 7 to 14 years, exploring the outer world. From ages 7 to 14, a child begins to shift their attention from themselves to others. They become interested in friendships, explore their surroundings, and start asking questions about the world. This is a period of curiosity, skepticism, and discovery. It is also the stage where the foundation for logical thinking, reasoning skills, and questioning of surrounding phenomena is established. The child starts to explore not only the physical world but also begins pondering the nature of life, the universe, and their place within it. Psychological development. This stage marks a significant growth in critical thinking. Children start to distinguish between reality and imagination and develop empathy through social relationships. Their social experiences during this period will shape their ability to build relationships later in life. The curious mind drives them to understand natural phenomena, but if their questions are not adequately addressed, they may develop fears or skepticism about the world around them. Encouraging questions and providing clear explanations play a crucial role in fostering a healthy cognitive development in children. Philosophical perspective. According to Carl Jung, this is a stage of developing social consciousness. Children begin to form deep same-gender friendships, as their psyche is in a natural state of homosocial bonding. The philosophical curiosity that emerges during this phase lays the foundation for future intellectual interests. At this age, children often ask fundamental questions about social relationships and their place within a group. Establishing same-gender relationships helps them learn cooperation, sharing, and emotional understanding. From a psychoanalytic perspective, this bonding serves as an essential step toward developing future relationships with the opposite gender. If suppressed or ridiculed, children may develop insecurities or social avoidance tendencies, which can have long-term effects on their relationships. The third cycle, 14 to 21 years, identity and sexuality. At this stage, both physiological and psychological development occur rapidly. Adolescents gradually shift from bonding with same-gender friends to an increasing interest in the opposite gender. Sexuality becomes a powerful driving force, fueling the exploration of personal identity. This is a critical phase of psychological growth in self-awareness. As young individuals begin seeking answers to the fundamental question, "Who am I?" The combination of curiosity and hormonal changes leads to an increased focus on relationships with the opposite sex. Without proper guidance and education, they may develop misconceptions or fears about sexuality and relationships later in life. Energy aspect. According to yoga philosophy, Kundalini Shakti, the dormant life energy, begins to stir during this phase. Without proper direction, this energy may be dissipated through instinctive behaviors. This is one of the most crucial stages, as the Muladhara, root chakra, becomes activated, forming the foundation for the entire internal energy system. If adolescents are guided to practice techniques such as meditation, deep breathing, and self-awareness, the Kundalini energy can be transformed into creative drive, intelligence, and compassion. Conversely, if left unchecked, this energy may lead to impulsivity, risky behaviors, or psychological struggles related to self-identity and emotional regulation. The fourth cycle, 21 to 28 years, aspirations and ambitions. This is the phase of ambition, aspirations, and the pursuit of success. People crave achievement, wealth, status, and recognition. It is a period when they step fully into the world, engaging in social activities with great intensity. The psychology of this stage is deeply influenced by the need for self-affirmation. Aspirations arise not only from personal desires but also from societal pressures. During this time, concepts of success, failure, and self-worth become clearly defined. Without proper guidance, individuals may fall into the cycle of competition, rivalry, and an imbalance between work and life. On the other hand, those who understand the true essence of success will find fulfillment in personal growth, contributing to society, and exploring the deeper values of life. Buddhist perspective. According to the law of karma, this is the period when one sows the most seeds of karma. If one lives driven by greed, anger, and delusion, suffering in later stages of life is inevitable. Every action, word, and thought during this time has a profound impact on one's spiritual journey. The human mind is easily drawn into the whirlwind of worldly ambitions, leading to a disconnection from its pure, inner nature. Therefore, practicing mindfulness, letting go of attachments, and focusing on the cultivation of wisdom and compassion will help build a strong foundation for long-term inner peace. The fifth cycle, 28 to 35 years, stability and building. This phase marks the transition from passionate ambitions to a search for stability. People seek material security, family establishment, and career consolidation. It is a time of laying a strong foundation for life. The psychology of this stage is often influenced by societal pressures regarding success and responsibility. Individuals begin weighing personal passions against family obligations, career goals against private life. This is also when many start questioning the meaning of their work and success, leading to a deeper understanding of the true values of life. Philosophical perspective. According to astrology, this period is known as the Saturn return, a time when individuals face challenges that test their maturity and resilience. Core values and beliefs are put under intense scrutiny, and many feel the pressure of the question, have I truly lived according to my own desires? Saturn's return does not merely bring challenges, it is also an opportunity to restructure life, reassessing career, relationships, and even deeper spiritual aspects. Understanding the significance of this cycle allows individuals to consciously face these inevitable transformations, learn from them, and emerge stronger and wiser. The sixth cycle, 35 to 42 years, reflection and transformation. Between the ages of 35 and 42, life energy gradually begins to decline. Many people experience a midlife crisis, where questions about the meaning of life, death, and existence become more prominent. This is a phase where individuals may feel lost, realizing that their past achievements no longer bring the same joy they once did. The mind often falls into a state of doubt and anxiety about the future and the true value of life. Many turn to spirituality, meditation, or philosophical studies in search of answers, understanding that life is not merely about external goals but also an inner journey of self-discovery. Spiritual perspective. This period marks the beginning of spiritual awakening. Many seek religion, philosophy, or meditation practices to ease their fears about the impermanence of life. This is when people start asking deeper questions about the nature of existence and death. Experiences of aging, personal losses, and the transient nature of life lead to a realization of human fragility. As the fear of death arises, the mind becomes more sensitive to metaphysical concerns, prompting a search for solace in concepts like reincarnation, karma, or the immortality of consciousness. This is also a stage where individuals may experience profound moments of awakening, learning to accept impermanence and detach from material possessions. Fame, and the illusions of the ego. The seventh cycle, 42 to 49 years, the search for meaning. At this stage, people begin to deeply sense the fragility of the body and the timeless nature of consciousness. The mind turns inward, seeking to understand the true essence of existence. Profound questions about the meaning of life, death, and what lies beyond death become more prominent. Real-life experiences, such as the loss of loved ones or the decline of physical health, make the impermanence of the body even more apparent. Many individuals in this phase turn to spiritual philosophies to explore concepts such as reincarnation, karma, and the journey of consciousness beyond the physical form. If this introspective process is approached with openness and mindfulness, it can lead to a deep sense of peace and an acceptance of life's impermanent nature. Spiritual philosophy. In Buddhism, this is the stage of developing prajna, wisdom. One begins to realize impermanence, anicca, suffering, dukkha, and non-self, anatta, preparing for profound spiritual transformations. The mind absorbs the transient nature of life, leading to the cultivation of compassion and detachment. Those who practice meditation consistently during this phase may reach profound states of inner peace, as they start to perceive the subtle flow of consciousness and their connection to the universe. This transformation occurs not only in perception but also in actions and thoughts, allowing individuals to enter the next phase of life with serenity, acceptance, and freedom from the fear of death. The eighth cycle, 49 to 56 years, renunciation and transformation. At this stage, individuals begin to accept the decline of the physical body and gradually let go of social attachments. This is an ideal time for deep meditation and spiritual transformation. Psychologically, this period often brings significant shifts as one fully realizes the impermanence of the body. It becomes an opportunity to release attachments to fame, wealth, and social relationships, redirecting focus toward inner spiritual connection. If approached with acceptance and mindfulness, this phase can bring profound peace and a sense of lightness in preparation for the transition beyond death. Hindu perspective. In Hindu philosophy, this stage corresponds to Vanaprastha, the retreat into solitude, a period of detachment in preparation for death. This phase is not merely about withdrawing from worldly affairs but also about turning inward on a spiritual journey. People begin to relinquish social relationships, dedicating themselves to spiritual practices, meditation, and contemplation on life's deeper meanings. This is a time to confront the truth of impermanence and the transient nature of the material world while cultivating a peaceful mindset for the journey ahead. In Hindu philosophy, Vanaprastha signifies not only physical withdrawal but also profound inner transformation. It is a phase where individuals face their deepest questions about the self, karma, and the soul's journey. Many choose to live in spiritual communities or retreat into nature, seeking solitude to reconnect with their true essence. According to the Bhagavad Gita, this stage leads to sannyasa, a state in which the mind is no longer influenced by worldly desires. This renunciation, if practiced with mindfulness, allows one to attain deep inner peace and transition into the next life with serenity and grace. The ninth cycle, 56 to 63 years, turning inward in meditation. By the age of 56, individuals become more introspective, shifting their focus deeply inward. This is a phase of stillness, meditation, and preparation for the journey beyond death. The mind is no longer disturbed by the struggles of life but gradually moves toward a state of absolute tranquility. This is a time for profound reflection on the past journey, confronting life's lessons, and embracing the truth of impermanence. Meditation becomes a powerful tool for releasing the final attachments to the material world, facilitating a peaceful transition of energy from life to death with grace and serenity. Scientific perspective. Psychological studies have shown that meditation during this phase significantly enhances mental well-being and fosters a deep sense of peace. Meditation not only reduces stress and anxiety but also improves focus, enhances memory, and helps maintain emotional stability. Research from Harvard University has demonstrated that mindfulness meditation increases gray matter density in the hippocampus, the brain region associated with memory and learning. Additionally, maintaining a regular meditation practice during this period helps regulate the sympathetic nervous system, reducing the risk of stress-related diseases and improving sleep quality. From a spiritual perspective, meditation is considered a bridge between the physical world and consciousness, allowing individuals to experience inner peace and profound stillness at a deeper level. The 10th cycle, 63 to 70 years, acceptance and letting go. The final stage of life is a time when one fully accepts the natural cycle of birth and death. If a person has lived each moment mindfully, they will embrace death with a sense of peace and serenity. At this point, the mind completely releases all attachments to the material world. The transition from life to death is no longer a source of fear but a return to one's pure, inherent nature. With a mind trained through mindfulness and meditation, consciousness enters a state of tranquility, merging harmoniously with the universal flow of energy. This is the moment of true union, where the self dissolves, making way for complete awakening and unconditional love. Spiritual perspective. In Buddhism, a person who has lived with mindfulness and compassion will pass away in peace, without fear, as they understand that death is merely a transition of consciousness. Death, according to Buddhist teachings, is not an end but the beginning of a new journey. The consciousness, upon leaving the physical body, continues to experience reality based on the karma accumulated throughout life. If one has lived with compassion and mindfulness, they will transition effortlessly into a peaceful state upon leaving this world. Conversely, if the mind is burdened with greed, anger, and delusion, the transition will be filled with anxiety and suffering. Practicing meditation and understanding the nature of impermanence allows one to face death with readiness and acceptance, seeing it as a return to one's true self. Embraced with lightness and serenity. The 7-year cycle, a spiritual journey beyond biology. The 7-year cycle is not merely a biological phenomenon but a profound spiritual journey. Each phase is a lesson, a challenge, and an opportunity for personal growth. From a personal perspective, I believe that if we live each moment fully, with mindfulness and awareness, then whether it is 7 years or 70 years, our life will be truly meaningful and complete. If you find these philosophies insightful, don't forget to follow Practical Philosophy to explore more in-depth content on psychology, life philosophy, and self-discovery. Join us on this journey so you won't miss any valuable insights in the future. Conclusion. The human journey, from birth to death, is a miraculous cycle, divided into meaningful 7-year phases. Understanding these stages not only helps us live in harmony with nature but also prepares us better for our spiritual path. Every phase of life is a colorful chapter filled with valuable lessons that deepen our understanding of ourselves. Recognizing the rhythm of the 7-year cycle allows us to live more intentionally, appreciate each moment, and embrace the inevitable changes of life. And when death finally arrives, we can welcome it like an old friend, without fear, without regret, only with peace and enlightenment. Stay with us to explore more profound philosophies in the upcoming videos on Practical Philosophy.